Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Educated Natural podcast. I am your host, the Educated Natural. I am super excited to bring to you this week's topic. It's a big one. And if you are a business owner, an entrepreneur, or a leader in any capacity, you need to listen very closely to this episode. The topic of this week is leadership burnout. It is a huge thing that each and every entrepreneur or leader goes through. And this year is high. It's very high. There are very few entrepreneurs I have had conversations with that has not experienced some level of burnout. So if you have a story to share, if you are curious about burnout, or if you just want to just hear what's happening in this episode, we invite you to stay tuned because we have a special surprise. When you think of the term leadership burnout, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? Tell you what, when you think of the word burnout just by itself, what comes to your mind? It's a very simple word, but it is a very powerful word because you see, burnout simply means a state of emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion. Have you ever felt exhaustion in any capacity? I'm talking about where you can't even think straight. I'm talking about where you literally start shaking when you think about a task that you have to complete. When you think about going to work, those of you that still work in corporate America, does it cause you to just be very anxious? Well, my friend, you are on the verge of the complete definition that we call burnout. Those that are in leadership positions experience this firsthand. It is a constant battle with entrepreneurs, with small business owners, with organizational leaders. This is something that not many people want to talk about, but it's something that we all need to address. And in this episode, we're going to look at a few things, and I have a very special guest that's going to be sharing her thoughts on leadership burnout as well. So let's get right into this. Burnout, believe it or not, isn't something that many people can plan for. However, even as smart as leaders are, they miss the telltale signs as burnout is quickly creeping upon them. So let's first start out by looking at some of the causes of leadership burnout. A lot of leaders, whether they want to admit it or not, are overworked. They have so many responsibilities that are placed upon them and expectations that they have a head-on collision with burnout. You have so many things on your plate. You have very little time in a day, it seems, to complete everything. And it's causing a lot of leaders to keep going and going and going as if they are the Energizer Bunny. But the truth be told, they are completely being overworked. As leaders, you also have what is known as pressure from meeting deadlines, pressure from fulfilling whatever task you have to do each and every day, pressure from meeting the demands of your family. Yes, your family can cause you stress. Stress leads to burnout. Matter of fact, it's one of the leading causes of burnout, being overstressed. So if you don't get anything else out of today's episode, let me leave you with this early on. If you feel stressed to the point where you are losing focus, my fellow leader, you need to go and take a break, sit down for a minute, catch your breath. Because if you do not, you're going to have a head-on collision with burnout. Responsibilities is another thing that can cause burnout. Think about it. Most leaders are either married or have children. They are over some big organization or a small organization. They have people that are looking to them to fulfill a task. There's a lot of pulling on their coat, if you will, from other people that want to do something huge in their industry. So you have all of these outside factors that are putting extra pressure on leaders of organizations and businesses. With these pressures comes expectations. The higher the pressure, typically the larger the expectation. And for a leader, you start to embody all of these things from other people and outside sources that it causes your blood pressure to rise. It causes you to start having other issues, which we'll get into a little bit later. And if you're not careful, you're going to be slumped right in the middle of leadership burnout. I'm telling you now, as a leader, despite how many responsibilities you have, despite the amount of pressure that may seem like is all on your shoulders, you have to understand something that's very important. You are the figurehead of that organization, company, business, etc. As the figurehead of that organization or business, you have to show others how to handle these things that may be coming at you. You have to be able to look at everyone on your team and set boundaries. Set boundaries, because if you don't, people will continue to pull from you until there is nothing left. And you, my fellow leader and entrepreneur, you will be sitting in the corner somewhere, completely lost in the sauce, having all types of issues because you didn't set those necessary boundaries for those that are working under you or around you. Setting boundaries is a very important step for leaders, because if you don't, there's detrimental effects and a high price to pay. And your company, your clients need you to be on your A game. And if you're not able to control your stress levels, it will literally, burnout that is, will literally take you out of the game. I have witnessed many entrepreneurs. I have witnessed many leaders from different industries fall because they were just completely burnt out. They were exhausted. Some of them barely could remember their own names, their children's names. They were so overly stressed. So I'm telling you that if you are not careful, those deadlines, those expectations of other people, and even your own expectations of yourself will lead you down this long, deep, dark road called leadership burnout. And I don't want you to be next. And so that's why today I want to take a brief look at the causes and solutions to leadership burnout. Another thing that causes leadership burnout, and I'm sure there's a lot of us that are in business, can attest to this one. And that is a lack of support. A lack of support from your spouse, a lack of support from your significant other, a lack of support from the people that just on your team, a lack of support from family. The list goes on and on. All you know is you have this great business that's offering these outstanding products, and nobody that knows you personally is investing in them, meaning they are not buying them. That causes you stress because you're thinking to yourself, we're family, we're friends, we're coworkers, etc. Why are you not supporting me?
Mic check. Mic check.
You know how disheartening it is for those of you that are in the custom apparel industry to look around every single year and your family has family reunions and they know you do custom apparel, be it t-shirts, socks, hats, cozies, whatever, koozies, whatever, and they never reach out to you to design and put those things together for the family. You know how disheartening that is for an entrepreneur's mindset when they have to sit there and look at every single year y'all go to someone else. You know how disheartening that is on the mental state of an entrepreneur or a leader? It's very disheartening because that lack of support from their own family is detrimental to the spirit sometimes. And so that's why I always tell my clients, it's great to have family. But sometimes along this journey, you're going to have to mature to a point where you separate family and business. Because if you don't, you will spend a lot of days crying, upset, arguing because of that lack of support from your family. In my own personal experience, I've received more support from strangers and people I've met online than I have the people I've known all my life. And I'm fine with that because I had to mature to that point where I got over it, where I got through it, and I built my tribe. And that's what you have to do as a leader. So if you want to lessen the lack of support being one of the causes of your very own leadership burnout, learn to separate the two. So I know somebody needed to hear that. Separate family and your business. All right. All right. We're moving on. Last but not least, another cause of leadership burnout happens to be the failure in you, my fellow leader, of taking much needed breaks. I'm not saying you have to go jump on a plane and go to your favorite vacation spot. I'm not saying you have to do that because I know with this economy, you probably can't afford to do that right now, or it may not even be a smart move right now for you financially. But just simply getting up from your desk, walking outside, walking around your neighborhood, walking around your house, okay, can be a great stress reliever. Going outside with your favorite cup of joe, with your favorite cup of hot chocolate, with your favorite cold glass of water, a nice glass of tea, or whatever your favorite beverage is, just going outside and letting the breeze just blow across you. Stop thinking about deadlines. Stop thinking about what your children or your spouse need. Stop thinking about what the team needs. Just take that much needed break, that woosah moment for yourself. It's something so clearing about just, that's right, inhaling and exhaling. Because you have to sometimes, as a leader, change your environment. If your stress is coming from your office, walk outside. If your stress is coming from your phone, because your phone keeps ringing and people keep asking you different things, put the phone on silent, turn it off, and walk away. You don't have to go out all day, but take a moment to just breathe. It's okay. Everything will be okay. The house is not going to catch on fire. The business is not going to fail if you take 5 minutes just to breathe. Your mental health will thank you. Your mental state will thank you. Believe it or not, those on your team will thank you because you're now de-stressed. You're now clear because you've gotten that fresh oxygen running through your blood and through your veins. Everything is okay. And now that you've had that break, you're clear. You're ready to get it back in there, right? You're ready to get it on. So take breaks. So now that we've went over the things that cause leadership burnout, let's take a look at some of the health issues that you may face if you don't deal accordingly with burnout. I've known several people that go through digestive problems, whether it's, gastro involved, etc. When it comes to your gut, if you are not careful, the level of stress you are under will cause you to have digestive issues. It could be something dealing with your heartburn. It could be something such as nausea, vomiting, like you just get up and you cannot understand or describe why every single day you just do not feel good on the inside. Burnout can be the reason. It impacts you physically, emotionally, and mentally, like I told you earlier. So you have to be very careful when it comes to burnout. It impacts you internally. You can also have sleep problems as a leader because you start thinking about all the things you need to do, all the things you failed to do, all the things that's expected of you, and it will cause your mind to become so foggy that you can't sleep. I know that has been my problem. Sleep problems. It has been my husband's problem. Sleep issues because of the level of stress that we both have been under at some point in our lives, especially in our jobs. Stress from everything can cause sleep issues. I wonder if that's why several of the people I'm connected to online are up all sorts of hours of the night. I'm talking about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. They're creating things. The first thing I've heard several of them say is, I can't sleep. I have to do something. If you're not careful doing that routine, it will cause you to smack your head in that deep, dark valley of leadership burnout. So yeah, burnout impacts your sleep. It also can impact hair loss. So has your hair been falling out? Exactly. Leadership burnout. Your body is trying to tell you something. Your body is saying, help, I'm breaking down. Save us. Leaders, pay very close attention to the signs that your body is giving you. It's a clear sign you need to take a break. It's too much. That weight that's on your shoulder is too heavy. Some things you're just going to have to learn to let go of. It's too much for you. Biblically, the Bible tells us, cast our cares upon the Father, and He will give us rest. God knows the plans He has for you, but the moment you decide enough is enough, I've lost all my hair, I'm having dental issues, I can't sleep, my stomach is hurting, I'm having headaches, I feel depressed, I'm anxious, meaning I'm going through different levels of anxiety. It's telling you, your body is telling you, stop, enough. I care about each and every one of you. So that's why God led me to do this episode. Many of you are stressed out. It doesn't matter how much makeup you put on, ladies. It doesn't matter what outfit you put on. It doesn't matter about anything that causes you to look good on the outside. Your stress level, let me just put it plainly to you, will kill you. You will be the cutest looking dead person if you do not get control of your levels of stress. If it's too much, it's too much. But what many leaders do is keep compounding the effect of stress. It is okay to delegate some of those responsibilities to people on your team. And if you're a solopreneur and you don't have anyone to delegate, then you need to sit down and get under the authority of a coach that can help you learn how to properly run your business. This is going to cut your stress levels down tremendously. But if you're trying to do all of this stuff by yourself, baby, you are not an island. And it's time for you to take a break and take a step back before you be the next person online that says, I can't do this anymore. I've had enough. I've shut down my business. I've shut down this and I've shut down that. It became too much. When you have the perfect opportunity now, before the fire is turned all the way up in your business or organization, and you just completely burn out. Take the necessary steps now to take care of you. Your business needs you because you are the figurehead. And if you burn out, what happens to your business? What happens to your legacy that you're saying you're trying to build for your children or your grandchildren or someone that you're close to? What happens if you burn out before time? If you burn out before you've accomplished those goals? Take a break, catch your breath, take a vacation if you need to, and just let it be. Because if you don't, everything, and I mean everything, is going to come crumbling down. And I don't want to see another entrepreneur, leader, business owner go through that. So take heed to this. If you know you can't sleep, if your mind for some reason is not allowing yourself to calm down at a decent hour of the night, you are on a very bad train ride. Take the breaks you need. Please hear me. This is serious. Take the breaks you need, or your body is going to tell you, and I'm telling you something about these bodies of ours. By the time your body tells you something is wrong, it's bad. So take time now. When you feel yourself getting stressed, go take your moment. Moving on. So, Kim, how do we deal with burnout? Based on my personal experience, the number one way that I've learned to deal with burnout is coming in contact and making a deep connection with my purpose. If whatever you are doing is not connected to your purpose, you, my friend, are going to be doing things out of order, out of context, and out of season. And like the Bible says, everything has a season. And if you are not aware of your purpose, you're going to be spinning your wheels in quicksand, meaning you're not going anywhere fast. You're just going to burn out quick at both ends. So, my first bit of advice for you that are dealing with any type of symptoms of burnout, take a minute and make sure that whatever it is that you are doing is in complete alignment with your purpose. Now, before I go any further, I mentioned earlier that I had a very special guest. This lady truly needs no introduction here on this show. But instead of me telling you who she is, I'm going to let her do that. In this session right here, you're going to hear a fellow leader and entrepreneur, share with us her take on leadership burnout.
My name is Jennifer Foxworthy. I'm the founder and CEO of Inspirationally Speaking LLC and the nonprofit organization Unstoppable You Ministries Inc. I definitely can relate on the topic of business burnout as a duo business owner trying to juggle successful businesses and doing it efficiently. It can be daunting. Sometimes you feel like you're on a raft in a big ocean, floating alone, trying to figure out resources or wanting people to come alongside. And it's all about communicating our needs, our wants, our desires. But many times as an entrepreneur, we may not know what that looks like or where to even start. And then trying to add balance of life, that work-life balance, to where you're there for your family, but most importantly, there for yourself, that self-care, having that self-awareness of where am I going, that vision, and how do I get there? But if you're burned out, you're no good to anybody. An empty cup cannot pour into others. So me being a motivational speaker, author, entrepreneur, corporate trainer, all these different things, I have experienced that burnout. I want my businesses to be successful, but how do I make that happen? A lot of research and training and networking. So that is my business burnout story. It looks different for most people, but it's about finding that balance and taking that step back to say, okay, I don't want to resent what God is calling me to do. What lessons am I learning? And it's in those lessons that I have re-strategized, rebuilt, regrouped, and now I'm doing much better. I would encourage people to do a SWOT analysis, a personal and professional SWOT analysis. SWOT is an acronym, is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Doing that SWOT analysis personally and professionally will help reduce that business burnout and keep the vision and the purpose alive. So thank you, Kimberly, for this opportunity to share. And I hope that these little golden nuggets and my sharing my truth will help someone.
Okay, I hope you enjoyed that surprise right there. Yes, indeed. That was our very own leader, Mrs. Jennifer Foxworthy. Now, I've known Jennifer for years. So to have her come back here and pour into each and every one of us was a great surprise and definitely an honor. Thank you, Jennifer. Now, I left off telling you how to deal with leadership burnout. So let me continue that, because these next few things is something that each and every one of us must do starting today. In order to deal with leadership burnout, I would also advise you to link up with, connect with like-minded individuals. Trust me when I tell you this, based on my own personal experience. Not connecting with the right people will cause you undue stress. Can I get a witness? Dealing with people that are on another wavelength than you can cause you to second guess everything you do in your business, to include how you decide to execute in your business. Execute trying to accomplish your goals. Dealing with people that are not in the same level or frame of mindset as you can cause you to stop prematurely in everything. So take my advice. Make sure those that are on your team, those that you are collaborating with, are like-minded individuals. Y'all share a common goal, y'all share a common vision, y'all just collaborate and gel so well that everything just works. It just flows. Like you can't even explain it. The connection between you all, outstanding. When you do this, trust me, it is going to decrease your stress. It's going to increase your happiness. It's going to increase your focus. Everything is just going to work out perfectly when you, my fellow leader, connect with like-minded individuals. I can't stress that enough to you. Make sure you are working with people that just get you and you get them. Y'all have this deep affection for one another to where you don't even really have arguments. You're just like, let's set this goal, let's hit it, let's stay focused, and everything will work out just fine. Trust me, connect with like-minded individuals if you truly want to deal properly with leadership burnout. Moving on. Another thing I would tell you, that if things in your business get so bad, it becomes extremely stressful, I would encourage you to go seek the help of a certified therapist. Now, before you turn up your nose and before you get some sort of attitude about the word therapy, therapists are there to help leaders, because sometimes as leaders, we become so tunnel vision that we find it hard to see anything other than the things that are right in front of us. We'll ignore everything our body says. We'll ignore everything the people on our team say. We'll ignore everything because we're just so set on hitting this goal that we will miss it until the point where our bodies just break down. Like we're just laid out in the middle of the grocery store when they just flat out just passed out, fainted, lost consciousness, wake up in a hospital somewhere, and you're thinking, what happened? And the doctor has to look you in the face and say, your blood pressure was so high that you passed out. I've seen that happen. So trust me, if you notice that you don't have anybody that you feel comfortable enough just letting it all out with, go seek the help and the advice from a certified therapist. I have talked with several people who have had to do this, and they said, I thank God for my therapist. They couldn't go to their pastor. They couldn't go to any type of clergy or religious person. They literally found the peace that they needed in therapy. So if seeking therapy is going to make you as a leader a better leader, it's going to make you actually have that vision that you need as a leader that I talked about in the last episode. And if you haven't seen the last episode, go check that episode out. You need to seek the help of a therapist. If that's what they're going to do for you, I'm all for it. As long as it keeps you clear and ready to take on whatever it is your business needs you to handle and execute upon, go see a therapist. Stop trying to handle everything by yourself. Some things you can't handle by yourself. You need some help. So before you pass out somewhere or have some underlying health issue, go seek the help of a therapist. Okay? You're welcome. Moving on. This one is easy. This is something we all just need to do just for health reasons, period. Outside of burnout, you just want to do this because you want to be healthy. And that thing is exercise or indulge in some sort of recreational activity. Let me tell y'all something. One day I was completely stressed out. I went to my local dollar store, or like everyone likes to call it now, the $1.25 store. I went to my local dollar store and I went and got silly string. You know, the stuff in the can to spray. My kids and I went and we got a bunch of these. We came home, went in our backyard, and we just sprayed each other and ran around the yard, had the best time ever. That right there is a huge stress reliever. It was fun. My kids enjoyed themselves. We laughed. We just acted a complete fool. We just had a ball. If you don't even want to do that, get some water balloons. It's hot. Everybody's complaining about how hot it is. Go get you some water balloons. Fill them up and throw them at each other. It's fun. Those of you that's in a recreational area where you can get to like trampolines or some type of, I think there's this company that has like this huge warehouse of all these trampolines. You can go in and just jump to your heart content. Go get your jump on. Go ahead. You can even go to a local park that has tennis. Go hit the tennis balls. But for those of you that like to really let some stress go take an exercise class, kickboxing, step class, step aerobics, swimming, anything that's going to cause you to kind of just go at it to where you just really on 10. You are really in there and you're throwing punches and because you're in a boxing class or whatever. Zumba is a great thing to do. I love Zumba. That's a great stress reliever. If you're saying, you know what, I need to woosah, but me just sitting here breathing, Kim, is not going to work. I need something else. Go get into an exercise class. Go outside, ride a bike, take a baseball, go hit some balls. They even have rooms where they have all this like old stuff inside of it where you could take a bat to and you could just start breaking up stuff. Go break up something. Go break something. Just don't break people. You know what I'm saying? Just be careful. Go into a good place for that. Okay. Go get yourself a punching bag. Get you some gloves. Put that mug in your garage or another room in your house and just punch it to your heart content. That is a great stress reliever. Trust me, I know. Whatever you have to do to alleviate your stress is the best thing as a leader you can do, not just for yourself, but for your family, for your friends, for your neighbors, for your coworkers, for even the members of your church. Because there is a huge number of leaders of churches that need to take a break. You need to sit down somewhere and get your plans together for your church, for your business, whatever the case may be. But you, my friend, clearly need to get it together. And it all starts with taking care of you. So if you are a leader today and you know you have a lot of deadlines coming up, you have a lot of things on your plate that you must get done, it is my humble plea to you to be aware of your stress levels. Be aware of what your body is trying to tell you. And if you need a break, please take that break. And if you are on someone's team and you notice that they're a little bit off, they're not as clear as they need to be, if they even look stressed to you, take them to lunch. It's not going to hurt you. Make them laugh. Bring them flowers, a gift. Just say, listen, I was thinking about you and I just wanted to bring a little sunshine to your day. That for a leader can also be a stress reliever, just to know that somebody cares. There you go. I believe today we call it paying it forward. Do that. With everything that's going on in the world today, we would love for other people to pay it forward as we as leaders do the same. If we would do that as a society as a whole, to look out for one another, to support one another, to be there, just be that shoulder that maybe somebody just needs to cry on. This would make a huge difference in the lives of leaders. So, as I get ready to wrap this up, if you are a leader and you're feeling some sort of way, whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally, you're feeling as though you're burning the candle at both ends, my advice to you is to listen to what the signs are telling you and take that break if you need to. It is okay. Those on your team will be happy with the results of that much needed break. And please, leaders, don't be afraid to set boundaries. You have a lot of things you want to accomplish this year, but trust me, it is okay to say no to some of them. Matter of fact, that's probably the best advice of this entire episode. Learn to say no, and everything is still going to be okay. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining me for this episode of the Educated Natural Podcast. If you ever want to catch us in your ear, just audio form, just go to your favorite podcast platform and just do a search for the Educated Natural Podcast, and we are there. If you would like to see the live recording of the sessions, just go to our podcast channel on YouTube and just do a search for the Educated Natural Podcast. You got it. If you would like to connect with me, if you have a business and you're saying, Kim, I am stressed, I need some guidance, I need some help, I just need some consultation help, then contact me at www.theeducatednatural.com. Once again, that's www.theeducatednatural.com. There you will find all about me. You will find all about my business services and how I can help you get to your next level, my fellow leaders. Until the next time, as I always say, be blessed. And no matter what life throws at you, always take a moment to enjoy your journey. God bless.